replaced the one whoever did replace the legend. And Kalen DeBoer, of course, had really nothing to win last year, other if in fact they just status quo were 12-1 or whatever, or 14-1 or whatever the record could have been. But they didn't do that. It was a disappointing year, losing to Vanderbilt. But right now they are on fire when it comes to recruiting. Is that just because they're Alabama, or are they doing something a little bit different this year?
Well, I think, one piece that we've certainly heard, and it's been mixed, is about kind of the presence they've had in the state of Alabama since Nick Saban left. I mean, Nick Saban's best teams, the national title teams that have dominated, the last 15 years of college football were all rooted. Those best recruiting classes were all rooted in Alabama. And I think last year's cycle, I don't have the number off the top of my head, but they didn't sign, more than a handful of guys out of Alabama. It was fewer than Saban had ever signed in a class. And there was skepticism going into this cycle about what that was going to look like. And not only have they added in big ways in recent weeks, I mean, they've really gotten hot. And it's similar to a year ago where they kind of caught fire in June, July. But within that group, you've got Xavier Crowell, who was a top 10 state target. Sedarian Morgan, another guy from Alabama who was big. And so they're hitting in the state, and they are hitting big on the recruiting trail. And, some of that's Alabama, but I think this coaching staff is gaining a lot of respect nationally, and it's having to kind of prove itself or make up maybe some ground in the state. But clearly they've done that a bit with a couple of priority signings the last few weeks. And I think, if there's a couple more battles they can win, we're going to be looking at another top 5 Alabama class, and Kalen DeBoer, at least on paper, in terms of the recruiting talent, beginning to build, what could be in a year or two, your next Alabama powerhouse.